Believers in this model don't just think Bitcoin will rise. They think Michael Saylor accidentally invented a new category of corporate finance, and more than 100 other public companies have already copied his blueprint to find out. This video builds the strongest version of that argument, not the hype version, the real one. Welcome to Rational Crypto, where we cut through the hype and focus on what actually works: long-term thinking, disciplined investing, and data-driven decisions. No gambling, no leverage, no get-rich-quick schemes, just rational strategies for building real cryptocurrency wealth. Let's dive in. If you only ever hear the weak version of an argument, you can't fairly judge the strong one. Most criticism of this model online attacks a straw man, a story about reckless gambling propped up by hope. That's an easy target to dismiss, and dismissing it lets people avoid engaging with the argument believers actually make. So, this video has one job: build the strongest possible case for why this model could work, using the same standard of evidence we'd apply to any other investment thesis. No risks, no counter-arguments. Those come in the next video, and we'll take them just as seriously. 3 pillars hold up the bull case. The argument that strategy opens a door into Bitcoin for capital markets that didn't have one before. The argument that the model could compound for decades, not quarters. And the fact that more than 100 other public companies have already copied the blueprint. Let's start with the door. Most large pools of capital in the world cannot legally or practically buy Bitcoin directly. Many bond funds, pension funds, and conservative retirement accounts operate under mandates written decades before Bitcoin existed. Mandates that permit stocks and bonds, but not direct ownership of a cryptocurrency. Strategy's stock is just a stock. Its convertible bonds are just bonds. Its preferred shares, the digital credit instruments from Video 1, are just preferred shares. Every one of them can sit inside a standard brokerage account, a retirement account, or a fixed income fund that would never be permitted to hold Bitcoin directly. Believers argue this matters more than it sounds. Spot Bitcoin ETFs solved part of this problem for equity investors, but Strategy's credit instruments solved a different part of it. They gave bond investors and yield-seeking funds a way into Bitcoin exposure that no ETF offers, because ETFs don't pay a dividend or a coupon. The bull case is straightforward. Every new instrument is a new door, and every door opens the asset to a pool of capital that was previously locked out, regardless of what that pool of capital thinks about Bitcoin. Philosophically, they don't need to be believers. They just need a product that fits their mandate. The second pillar is about time. Bitcoin's supply is mathematically capped at 21 million coins, a fact that doesn't change regardless of demand. If the institutional access argument is correct, and steady new pools of capital keep finding their way into Bitcoin exposure through these instruments, believers argue the effect compounds, not in a single dramatic move, but in the same slow, repeated way any genuine long-duration compounding works. This is precisely why this video won't put a number on it. The bull case isn't Bitcoin will hit a specific price. The bull case is structural. A fixed supply met with a financial system that just built several new permanent pipelines toward it, compounding over a time frame measured in years, not weeks. Saylor himself frames this even more ambitiously. Not as a trade, but as a new category of finance entirely. His language is digital capital markets, Bitcoin as a scarce reserve asset, with an entire ecosystem of credit instruments built on top of it. The same way mortgage-backed securities or corporate bonds created entirely new markets, once a scarce, valuable form of collateral, could be securitized. If that framing is right, strategy isn't just one company's bet, it's closer to a prototype. A category other companies and credit markets could be building on top of for decades. The third pillar is simpler: imitation. Since strategy pioneered this approach, more than 100 other public companies have adopted some version of the same Bitcoin Treasury strategy. Different sectors, different sizes, all independently concluding the approach was worth doing. Believers treat that as a form of market validation no single company can manufacture on its own. It's one thing for one CEO to believe in an idea, it's another for over 100 separate boards of directors across unrelated businesses to authorize the same strategy. The bull case also has a direct answer to the most common fear about this model, that a falling Bitcoin price could force the company into a death spiral of selling. Much of strategy's convertible debt carries little or no interest, with long-dated maturities, often years away. There's no monthly interest bill forcing a sale, and no margin call structure of the kind that sank over-leveraged crypto lenders in past cycles. Believers argue this debt was deliberately built to survive exactly the kind of prolonged downturn critics worry about. Put the three pillars together, and the strongest version of the bull case isn't Bitcoin goes up forever. It's this: a capital structure built to survive volatility, opening Bitcoin exposure to capital that couldn't reach it before, at a moment when more than 100 other companies are betting the same idea has room to run. Quick pause. If you want the other side argued with this same level of rigor, not a straw man, the real bear case, subscribe and hit the bell for the next video. Now, a quick framework for stress testing any bull case you hear, including this one. Believing a well-built argument is different from accepting it uncritically. Here are 3 questions to run any bull case through, including the one you just heard. Question 1. Does this argument depend on one company's stock price or on a broader structural fact? The institutional access and imitation arguments both rest on facts that don't depend on strategy's stock price at all. That's a sign of a structural argument, not a hype argument. Question 2. Does the argument require something to happen forever or just for long enough? Compounding arguments often quietly assume demand continues indefinitely. A more honest version asks what threshold of continued demand is actually required, and whether that threshold is reasonable. Question 3. Who is making the argument, and what do they hold? Michael Saylor has built his public reputation and a meaningful part of his personal wealth around this thesis being correct. That doesn't make the argument wrong, but it's worth knowing before weighing how it's framed. Run any investment thesis, bullish or bearish, about this company or any other, through these 3 questions, and you'll separate the structural arguments from the narrative ones almost every time. If hearing the strongest version of this argument changed how seriously you take it in either direction, hit like. It helps more people see real arguments instead of straw men. 3 things to take from this video. The bull case rests on 3 pillars. Strategy's instruments open Bitcoin exposure to capital pools that were previously locked out. The compounding argument is structural rather than a price target, and over 100 companies copying the model is a form of validation no single CEO can manufacture alone. The debt structure, long maturities, minimal interest, is the bull case's direct answer to the most common fear about this model: forced selling in a downturn. None of this makes the argument correct, it makes it serious. And a serious argument deserves a serious answer. Your homework: run the 3-question stress test from this video against the strongest bullish opinion you've personally heard about any crypto asset, not just this one. We've now heard the believer's best argument in full, without interruption. Next time, we give critics the exact same courtesy, the strongest version of the bear case, including the scenario believers in this video would least want to talk about. That's next. If this added value to your understanding of crypto's biggest balance sheet story, hit that like button. It helps more people find rational crypto education. Subscribe for regular deep dives on DCA, psychology, and cycle-aware investing. Drop your biggest crypto question in the comments below. Until next time, stay rational.